What's up, y'all? My name is Anthony, aka Sir Kibble 2. It's December 17th, 2013, and I got the word for you today. We'll be discussing Microsoft's ID at Xbox Indie Games program, DOTA 2, and the Division gameplay. So first, according to an interview found on Edge Online, indie games from the ID at Xbox program are coming in 2014. Chris Carla, who's the director of ID at Xbox, said they would be coming early in the new year in the first 3 months. So if you don't know what the ID at Xbox program is, I'll just give you a quick summation of what it is. So right now, the ID at Xbox program allows established indie developers to create their own games on Xbox One. They're given 2 development kits by Microsoft to work on their game, and in the future, Microsoft says they plan to open up all consoles as development kits and let anyone else publish on Xbox One with no publishing fees. They will have a certification process that all developers will have to go through to ensure that the games don't have objectionable, vulgar, or offensive content, and once your game is approved, the game will be available to play. They say your game will be treated as equal to other games on the Xbox One dashboard. You know, it can show up in the Spotlight, which is curated by Xbox, the Trending section, which is determined by popularity, and Recommendations, which is based on what you and your friends play. That is pretty much the ID at Xbox program, at least the way Microsoft puts it. So first thing I want to address is their policy of no objectionable, offensive, or vulgar content. On the website, they say, and I'm quoting this, "If you look at the huge variety of games that have shipped on the Xbox 360, you have a very good idea of the breadth of content in all rating bands that we're excited to have on Xbox One." And they aren't lying about that. They got a breadth of different types of content on the 360. I mean, talking from Xbox Live Arcade to the Xbox Live Indie section. So I'm gonna pause this Battlefield 4 match real quick, and we're gonna hop into the 360 dashboard because I want to show you this breadth of content that they're talking about. Alright guys, so we're back on the 360 dashboard, and I'm gonna show you this content, this breadth of content that they're talking about. So I'm not going to show you Xbox Live Arcade games because I'm sure most of you know about them, but the indie games though are the interesting stuff that you need to check out. So we'll go to, oh nope, those are my games. Browse games and wait for this to load. Okay, indie games. Let's just check out the new releases. Okay, yeah, not too bad so far. Oh, there we go. Boobs already. So Uncraft Me. What is this game about? Let's see here. The game was classified by the community with the following category scores: violence 2 out of 3, sex 3 out of 3, mature content 3 out of 3. Save the Earth and it's hot, and it is, and it's hot space idols from eternal cubification as Alex and the Jetpack Dude. Now extreme challenges to conquer. So it has nothing to do with a woman, yet there we are. And might I add, it costs $3. Okay, so that's pretty bad. Farm Fury, okay, not terrible. Oh, here we go. Don't be late for your date. All right, there we go. What else is there? Tune Her Out. There we go. Disrespectful to women games. Alright, what is this game about? This one's $1. And this one, because nothing's more important than getting the high score. Okay. It could be funny in a way, but, you know, this is the type of content that you will find, the breadth of content. Now, to be fair to Microsoft, especially with the Xbox Live indie games, they don't curate those games. Those games are strictly, pretty much, I think, Xbox Live curated only. So the users curate those games, and I'll give them some credit there, but they're on the platform, and that is representative of what they're talking about when they say the breadth of content on the Xbox 360. Now my question is, how many people do they actually have curating these games? Because The amount of indie games on there, the number at the top said about 3,000, and I don't know if that's 3,000 from the beginning of launching the Xbox Live indie games, or just currently the ones that are currently on there. I don't know that, but that's also still including Xbox Live Arcade games and other games that obviously the on-demand games that you can buy. So they plan on opening up every Xbox One as a development kit so that people can create games. That's fine, but Microsoft team or whoever the curation team will have to curate all of those games. And when they open up the Xbox One so that anyone can be a developer and publish games, they're gonna have a lot of games to curate. You saw how many indie games were there. Just imagine what happens when everybody feels like, yes, I can do something. You're gonna have hobbyists. You're gonna have people who are serious about getting into the industry. You've got people who just want to give it a shot and give it a go. That doesn't mean they'll all get through, but they'll be a part of the curation process, which means that'll slow things down for the games that are actually trying to get on there and contribute to the gaming sphere. And I can imagine certification already takes a long time with AAA games, so how much longer is it going to take for hundreds of submissions? I'm going to say hundreds. There's probably going to be hundreds of submissions. They all won't come at the same time, but there will be quite a few that come quickly. And I don't know if they're just going to look at something and just be like, nah, we're not even going to go there, or they're actually going to give a fair shake to every single game. And if they do that, which would be fair to every game, that's not a knock to them, but it's going to slow down the certification and curation process. So another option would be to release the game on Steam, for example, while you wait for the certification process. And that's assuming you can bypass Greenlight. But so say you're like, okay, I'm ready to release the game. I'm going to put it on Xbox One, wait for their certification, and I plan on putting it on Steam. Of course, it's a lot more complicated than that. I'm very much simplifying the process right now. But put the game on Steam, maybe it gets through Greenlight. Who knows? Greenlight might be slower than Xbox One, but either way, if you want to release the game on multiple platforms, the parity clause on Xbox One, not parity clause on Xbox One basically says that if you want to release your game on other platforms and Xbox One, you have to release the game on Xbox One at the same time as other platforms. So say you want to release your game on Steam first, and you've already submitted the game for Xbox One. You're gonna go through certification. Microsoft will say, no, you can't release the game on Steam first because of our parity clause that says you have to release the game at the same time. So your only option is to either release it on Xbox One first or release it on multiple platforms at the same time as Xbox One. And I have no idea why this clause is there. I don't see any monetary or public perception benefit that Microsoft would get from this clause. I don't see, if a game is released on Steam and they plan on releasing it on Xbox One, I'm using Steam as an example because that's probably who they're trying to target. But if a game is released on Steam and it plans on coming to the Xbox One later, I have no idea what's the point of releasing them at the same time. If people want to buy the game on Xbox One, they will buy the game on Xbox One. They will wait for the game to come out on Xbox One. If people want to buy the game on PC or PlayStation Network, they will do that. If people want to buy the game on Desura, they will do that. People already have an idea of what they want to do by the time a game is announced, especially if you have multiple consoles. I already know if a single player game is coming out on Xbox One and PlayStation 4, I'm getting it for PlayStation 4. If it's releasing between the PC, the PlayStation 4, and Xbox One, I'm probably going to get it on the PC. I only say probably because it depends on if there's multiplayer or not. And I have more friends on consoles than I do PC. But if it's strictly single player, yeah, I'm probably going to get it on the PC. So I already have my mind made up. And I'm sure most of you are the same way. So I don't see any benefit for Microsoft to have this clause in place, forcing people to release the game at the exact same time. So we'll see what happens. So Dota 2 is available for everyone to play. Valve removed the signups so everyone could get into the action. And if you recruit a friend to Dota 2 using the recruitment feature, you can also get additional bonuses for yourself and your friend. So that's cool. I've always wanted to try the game. I've been scared to because it's just one of those type of team games where if you're not contributing to the team, you're a nuisance and you need to go away. And that's tough for me to take. I like team games, and I'm interested in trying Dota 2. I have friends to play with. I do plan on playing with them at some point, but I don't know if I want to invest the amount of hours it takes to get halfway decent at the game and help the team out. Part of the enjoyment I get from playing team games is being able to contribute something. That's the reason why I play Battlefield now, is because I don't have to kill a whole bunch of people to contribute. I can just capture objectives and be okay. It benefits me and it benefits the team. Battlefield is mostly objective-based games anyway. They only got team deathmatch and squad deathmatch as far as just straight up killing. I play those every once in a while, maybe if I want to level up my weapon quicker, but other than that, I'm playing Conquest, I'm playing Domination, Obliteration, things like that, because I cannot kill that well. I have an occasional good game, but my KD is 0.94 in Battlefield. I'm not a killer, but I will go get an objective. That I will do, and so that's where I feel best. And so for Dota 2, I'd have to spend so many hours just trying to figure out how to play the game, because I'm not big on the MOBAs in the first place. So I'd have to get used to how to playing one and figuring out the systems and figuring out how Dota works. And that's just a lot of learning before I can actually start enjoying the game. And that's kind of the struggle I have. So I don't know, maybe if you guys are trying to get into it too, we could all just suffer together. At least I know I wouldn't be the only one. Or if you're good at it, shoot me a comment or hit me up in my inbox or something. Maybe we can get some games going. You can teach me how to play, and I can start getting into it a little bit. Like I said, I want to, if at least for criticism and journalism's sake, I want to try it, but it's a super popular game, and for that reason alone, I want to try it. And lastly, there is an interview on the Division France YouTube channel with Matthias Carlson, who is the lead designer, and Axel Rydby, the design director. It concerns the gameplay of the game, which most of it they say they don't want to spoil, but they do talk about food and water. The developers say that resources are scarce, so you have to look for food and water, and that you'll be able to trade for different things. However, you don't have to eat or drink to survive. Quote, that's not really what we want from it, end quote. My question is, why not? Because I think that would be a great design decision. That would be awesome. It would add so much dimension to the game. It's not just food and water and you trade it in for things, but it's an actual entity that's part of the world. The type of dynamic added to the game just by keeping yourself alive or your teammates alive or whoever, like, there would be so much dynamic to that. And basically at this point, it's just money. The food and water is just money. I feel like it would be better if they just made it money. Instead of using food and water, just use money. It's a present apocalyptic world, and money would be scarce, probably more scarce than food and water. And food and water is important to keep you alive, but I feel like people would resonate better with money instead of food and water, because we all know what it feels like to not have enough money to get something we need, whether it's house payments or car payments, or simply you walk into a store and you find out, they don't have enough money. We know what it feels like to be short on money to get something. And so for them to use food and water just because it fits into the apocalyptic world, and all you do is use it to trade goods, That's a weak gameplay mechanic. That's weak usage of something that could be so much more. They need to take a risk and say, you know what, you need to eat and you need to drink water. Because if you do that, then you add a lot more dimension to how food and water is used instead of just trading. Because now you have to think about, do I eat it for myself? Do I give it to my teammates? Do I trade it? Do I ration it? What do I do with it? And they want to talk about you have to make tough choices. Well, what you do with food and water is a tough choice. And they're taking away a lot of that just by saying, yeah, you can trade food and water for goods. It just turns it into another way of saying money. That's all it is, some sort of currency. And they're talking about like it's important. No, it's not. Because you've taken all the weight and gravity away from the importance of food and water. You're just saying it's an apocalyptic world, so you need food and water, so you can use that to trade stuff. Yeah, that's weak. Whack. Go back to the drawing board, Ubisoft, and please do something much better with food and water. Or, if that's what you want to do, use money instead. That would be better than saying, hey, food and water for an apocalyptic world. That's what I think. Either way, I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about that topic and the other topics mentioned in this video. So appreciate you watching. Thanks for listening. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. See you later.